Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Look at The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. This is a game that is being developed by Edmund, Tyrone and everybody over at Nicholas and Team Meat, and as you will see from Tyrone's description later on in this video, this is the absolute final version of The Binding of Isaac. So everything that needs to be done is done, and this is not even really an expansion to the game. It's more like a Mario Maker modding thing, so you can use a Mario Maker-esque interface to build your own dungeons, customize different characters, and again we will see all of this as we go into the video. So let's just begin with just a really quick update. So I'm sorry I didn't make videos over the last 2 days at work. Obviously, as I said, Halloween had to change over all of the point of sales in the little corner shop, and that was like 2 very long 12-hour shifts because I hate when it's a seasonal event. And of course I moved into the new house, but now all that's set up, computers now on the new desk, got the new chair, the pop filter, if you can't tell, is now attached to the microphone, so that is all good. But anyway, now that that little update is out of the way, and videos should be coming now every day once again, now point of sale has changed and we're in the new house, computer set up. Maybe not one tomorrow because I've got to go somewhere this weekend, but all done. So let's get into the Let's Look at of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I'm just going to call it Afterbirth Plus from now on. So, as I did just say, it is a game being developed by Edmund, Nicholas and Team Meat, and they really knocked it out of the park. Tyrone did a live stream, Twitch stream, and he was talking to a few other people. I don't know who they are. I've heard that the footage that you're watching now, while this is directly off of Tyrone's Twitch, the guy he was speaking to is from some Viking dude, so you can find exactly the same footage with like the Twitch overlay so you can see what the chat's saying by some guy on YouTube, which is like Verdant Viking. I'm not sure. Please let me know in the comments section below and I can always give him a proper shout out later. So if you're wondering who is asking the questions, it is this Verdant Viking fellow. Anyway, Edmund and Tyrone and everybody in this particular live stream really knocked it out of the park in terms of everything they did and everything that they said. So as I said, it is kind of like a Mario Maker interface where you can change the dungeon layouts, change different bosses, add bosses to floors but shrink them down. So you know, like in Mario Maker where you can give the super mushroom to Bowser to make him huge. Well, in Afterbirth Plus, I'll get the clip here, as you can see in this room, they have done the opposite to a boss called Monstro. So we have got Monstro and they've give him a skinny mushroom to shrink him down. So he's just like every other enemy, except obviously it's a little blob man that fires Monstro shots rather than just the 4-way little gish type things. So that's really cool. They did say that you do need a little bit of programming experience. You know, it's not Mario drag and drop. If you actually want to change certain aspects, like for example, the faces here, as we can see with the egg himself, Northern Lion, if you wanted to change the Duke of Flies to have this particular face, you do need to, you know, create your own PNG image, find the actual file in the modding section, and change the face files to do what you want it to do. So you do need a slight programming knowledge, but not too much if you want to go really deep into the mods and change everything. So if you just want to make something like they're showing now, where it's a baby Monstro or a Northern Lion's face on the Duke of Flies, you probably require like 1%, you know, programming knowledge. Just swap a couple of PNG files around and, you know, rescale something. Nothing too difficult. However, if you do want to go full on Binding of Undertale look at this, everything's changed. The enemies have changed, your character has changed, it starts with different items. The items themselves look different. If you wanted to do full-on Binding of Undertale, it's going to take maybe about 20% programming knowledge rather than 1%. So while the engine itself does do most of the work for you, you will have to put in a little bit of effort in order to make these things come to fruition. But he said it's really simple, really easy to use. I personally can't wait to use it. He was saying how you can change different stats, different items can do different things. The Viking man right now has the urine pot or whatever it may be. Even Tyrone himself didn't know, because he was saying just put in 10 random items for fun, that if we see them, even I don't know what them do. So as he says here, he doesn't know what this does. But that's part of the fun. You can now type in what you want it to do. Again, that's where you want to go full-on Binding of Undertale. You need a little bit of programming knowledge. But once you program what it does, it's going to be a fun time. So I can see a lot, and I mean a lot of fun, creative mods coming out of this. And much like Starbound, if I just go flick over to Starbound right now, here I am in my hive in Starbound, loaded in. And I'm currently working on these. But if I were to exit, save and quit right now, and we go to the options, there is the workshop, and all you'd have to do is press the workshop. It'll bring up the Steam Workshop page, and then you just go to view all mods in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, and then there's all the mods, and any mods that you particularly want. So if I were, again, this is just like Starbound, but let's pretend it was Isaac. If I was looking through these and I was like, oh, what do I want? What do I want? Oh, here's the egg mod. So here's the one that gives the Duke of Flies Northern Lion's face. All I'd have to do is click it and then press the subscription button, and then that mod would be added to the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus into this little mod section here that you can now see on the screen. And it's not just mods, you can also create custom challenges, which again get added to this custom challenge list here, and you can play them, and they are obviously independent of the regular challenges. And you can even, I don't know how it works yet, but you can even send them to your friends so they can also try out the challenges. Like, they don't even have to subscribe. All you've got to do is like send them there's going to be a social area from what Tyrone's saying. So for example, if we go back to Starbound, where it would say like join game, here obviously you can't join a game, but it'll be like a social tab. So you click social, and then you get a list of like your friends, and you could click like, oh, click this friend, and then be like, right, so it's let's just say Midnight. So it's Midnight, and I want to send him challenge Farty Boy, I think that's what it's called in the thing, Farty Boy, and then just like put in your password, whatever the password would be, and it'd be send challenge. And then much like a friend invite, so you know, like when you're in, I need to open up a full-on version of Steam, but you know, like when you are in Steam and you get like little messages pop up here, it'd just be like, this guy has you have now received a message, and the message is, would you like to accept the challenge? And obviously the person on the other end will accept the Farty Boy challenge. It's already downloaded for them, so they don't even have to go to the challenge place to subscribe. You can literally just send challenges to the people that you want to send the challenges to, which is really nice. But of course, let's just get back into Starbound. So I've got something to make this easier to record now. I do not want to join the server, I just want to start my game. But let's move on to the absolute biggest things that knocked it out of the park. And that is how the mods would work, and the words that Tyrone said. Basically taking the jab at Nintendo. So during the little interview thing, he was asked about mods on going onto the workshop, and obviously he said yes, the mods will go onto the workshop, unlike Binding of Undertale, where you've got to go download the mod, mess with the jar file, and get it all set up in the jar file. It'll be straight on the workshop. And then he said the controversial thing, because most people thought it was controversial, and that's why Steam took it down. But Ed and Tyrone want to put it back up, and that is buying the mods outright or having some kind of reward system. He's already said that it's not set up yet and he doesn't know how it wants to work, but he wants everybody that makes, decent mods to be, now obviously decent is subjective and I'll come back to that, but he wants everybody that makes decent mods to be rewarded for their work. So if you've made something like the Binding of Undertale, this is a lot of work. This particular thing here is a lot of work to do. You've had to change character models, change items, change what items do, change what bosses look like, change what enemies look like, change what the floors look like. There is a lot of work that has gone into the Binding of Undertale. So this is what we could class as a decent mod in most people's eyes. So he's saying that obviously that's a lot of hard work and we want to reward people for that hard work, and basically he wants people to get money out of it is the basic gist. I'll play the clip in a minute once I've explained it, but he said basically, people like Northern Lion on YouTube, they record Isaac and they obviously monetize Isaac. So Northern Lion gets money from playing Isaac. Twitch streamers like Austin Last Grey Wolf, they stream Isaac. Again, Twitch streamers, they can get paid subscriptions. They are basically getting money off of Ed and Tyrone's game. And Tyrone said he loves it. He enjoys the fact that people are making money out of it, and he wants more people to make money out of it. And that's why if you make a mod, he wants to basically reward you. He wants you to get money out of it so that your hard work is being rewarded. Here's the actual his words version of it. So here's the clip now of his particular words on this subject matter.
People to distribute the mods and possibly make money off of what they're making.
That is okay. That's amazing.
Hold on,
like,
say that again.
I want people to make money off this game. How's that?
Quite a few that already do. I think of streamers.
I want more people to make money off this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
like creatively.
You make something creative, really awesome, and if we can find a way to distribute it, Workshop, for example. And I know some people are against it, but if you make something and you're going to distribute it for free anyway, and you do something really awesome, why not make some money off of it? Your creation.
Absolutely. The stream.
I want more people to make money off this game.
Yeah.
I want more people to make money off this game.
Yeah.
Now, that is absolutely amazing. And there was a little bit of controversy during the stream. Like I did watch that particular stream and I did see the chat. There was a little bit of controversy like, oh, well, Steam won't let you get money from mods because, they tried having paid for mods and they removed it. And that's pretty much what is holding Afterbirth Plus from being released. Like, as it stands right now, as he stated during across this stream, Afterbirth Plus is pretty much done. It's 80-90%? We're in the final stages here. The one thing that is really holding them back is just working out a reward system to reward people for modding the game and making these fantastic, mods or add-ons. And then after the controversy kind of settled down, Edmund on his Twitter or wherever it was, basically, because I was obviously still watching the stream at that point and I was just alerted by it in the chat. But after that point, Edmund or someone in Team Meat made a bit of a snarky comment and it got everybody basically now on Nintendo's hate train once again. That Edmund agrees, Edmund wants to reward people for mods, and then someone in that particular circle, I don't even know if it was Team Meat, it could have been Northern Lion, could have been Austin, could have been anybody. As I say, I was watching the stream at this point, but someone within that close circle said about how, we want to reward people for mods, unlike Nintendo, who actively cease and desist people for making mods, fan games, and so on and so forth. And it really shows the hostility that is now coming about from what Nintendo's doing. Like, Nintendo is really now under a lot of pressure from Tyrone's words. He wants to reward people for making mods someone within that circle has already made a snarky comment about AM2R because they were a Metroid fan. I do believe it was Ed, who is a very big Metroid fan, and obviously things like the Metroids, the Space Pirates, they're kind of, very horror-ish, and I think that's where he got some of the inspiration to make some of the abominations in the basement. So, he's a Metroid fan. He was well on board, as was a lot of other people like Johnny Versus, well on board with Nintendo, maybe having to cease and desist it for legal reasons, but then ringing the guys up and saying, let's get AM2R on the eShop, let's sell this, you can have 40%, we can have 60%, so even then you're tipping it in Nintendo's favour. Nintendo would get a lot of money for not even having to do any work. They literally just have to port the ROM onto the eShop. And everybody was excited, but obviously AM2R got cease and desisted, and that was the 30th anniversary Metroid game, and we got basically Federation Force, which is a steaming pile of dog shit. So that's, Nintendo's basically being extremely hostile to any kind of mod maker or fan project. So unlike Sonic, because again, Sonic is the one that rewarded those guys for making a ROM hack by making Sonic Mania. So even Sonic is agreeing with, or Tyrone is agreeing with the Sonic side of things by people should be rewarded for their fan projects. People should be rewarded for making something amazing. And now that we have two people on this reward for modding train, we've got Tyrone and Ed on the reward for modding train. We have Sonic on the reward for modding train. Now that more people are open to the idea of a fan-made game, and that particular company, be it Sega/Sonic and Team Meat, rewarding someone for the fan-made game, because more people are jumping onto this train, it's putting Nintendo under a lot of pressure now. A lot of people have made statements about why have you cease and desisted AM2R? Why have you cease and desisted Pokemon Uranium? It was the 25th anniversary for Pokemon. It's the 30th anniversary for Metroid. These would have been great additions. What, are you scared it's going to take away from sales of Sun and Moon? Don't be stupid, Nintendo. Don't be bloody stupid. It's not... Uranium is not going to take away from Sun and Moon. If you are a dedicated Pokemon fan, okay, you're going to purchase both. It's like if this Christmas, for example, let's just say Pokemon Stadium 3. I'm not even going to use Snap 2 because that's kind of in Sun and Moon. That's a whole other topic on its own. But let's just say Pokemon Coliseum 3, or sorry, Pokemon Stadium 3 or Pokemon Gale of Darkness 2 came out this Christmas. Are you really telling me that in your mind, Nintendo, it would be, oh, you have to buy Sun and Moon or Gale of Darkness 2? One or the other. You can't have both. You can't have Gale of Darkness 2 and Sun and Moon. You can only buy one. No, that is stupid thinking. If you're a dedicated Pokemon fan, you would buy Sun and Moon, or, one or the other, obviously, but you would buy Sun or Moon and Uranium. You'd want to play both, You could have Sun and Moon as your VGC competitive thing, right, I'm going to VGC Eevee, Ivy Train, Lunala, and Titan Null, get them to prime physical condition. Every time I'm walking around, gonna egg breed, gonna hit that up in Sun and Moon. But then at night time, you might be watching a movie, you might be watching YouTube. You don't want to spend time doing all your egg charts, egg moves. You just want to relax. So then you stick Pokemon Uranium in. People would have bought both versions. I know Metroid 2 is on the eShop, and the remake, no one's buying Metroid 2 on the eShop, and they're scared that, the remake will take away sales from the eShop. Well, yeah, but at the same time, if you put AM2R on the eShop, you could get rid of the crappy, clunky Game Boy version for that version, and you'd make so many more sales. The loss of the Game Boy sales would be made up for tenfold by the sale of the remakes. So obviously, that's kind of all I wanted to say on that now that Tyrone has said that you're going to get rewarded for making mods and is joining Sonic's side, Nintendo cease and desisting everything And there was another cease and desist, which I want to make a whole separate video about. Because, oh my word, that one is the most stupidest thing, Nintendo. But yeah, so with Edmund joining Sonic's side, it's putting Nintendo under a lot of pressure for the fact that Tyrone, Sega are saying, we want to reward fans. We're going to reward every fan. So yeah, that's the thing. So we're going to now move back more into Afterbirth Plus and away from Nintendo being put under pressure by Edmund and Tyrone and of course Sonic, and wrap this up. So as I said, it is a fantastic edition, and as I said at the beginning of this, it is now the final version. As we can hear from Tyrone's mouth, this is the absolute definitive final version. The game is in a 100% completed state, and all they wanted to do is just add mods. They just wanted to make it easier to mod the game. That's, you know, there's a couple of extra challenges and there's a couple of extra secrets that they've put into the base game, but nothing really major. They just really wanted to make a Mario Maker-esque mod supporting thing. They have said that the Afterbirth Plus will be paid for DLC. A price point has not yet been stated, but if it's of a reasonable price, I think that, let's just say $10, $15. $10, $15 is very much worth the price to make it a lot easier to mod the game. Obviously, there'll be people that will still make the full-on binding of Undertale mods that you'll have to manually put in. But to make modding support a lot easier for all of the fans of the game for such a cheap price, considering Mario Maker's like $30 rather than $15, is a fantastic addition. And once they've finished this, they'll be moving back to Mugenics. Yeah, remember Mugenics? Remember that trailer we got like years ago? So yeah, I can't wait for this, and this was just a brief let's look at. Obviously, no one's got the things in their hands. We'll be doing a proper review of this. This was literally just information we gained off of a stream, but once that is done, we can like have a proper look at it, because I am fully intending on playing Afterbirth Plus. I'm intending on sitting you guys down, asking what mods you want to see me try and make, and we're going to all try and make some mods together. So I'm very excited for Afterbirth Plus. That stream pretty much showed you how it worked and pretty much confirmed how everything worked, bar a little bit of programming which you didn't really get to see. He was just explaining the programming more than showing, but it's still, he is reassuring you that it's going to be pretty simple depending on what degree of modding you're going to do, and obviously you're going to get rewarded. So if you guys in the comments section tell me what to make and we make it together, depending on how the rewards work, I might want to try and give back to you as well. So like, let's just say the Dark Blue Fire, Midnight, and Scribbles, just because they're all ponies, nice and easy. We're not going to like diversify for a minute. Let's just say they made they said make a pony mod. Let's add a Midnight transformation into the game. Like, they all three of them are in agreement to make a Midnight transformation. So if you get like 6 devil items, so if you pay for like the Pentagram, the Mark, the Pact, and Abaddon, Lord of the Pit, and Black Powder, you pay for those 3, you become Midnight, and she has like Brimstone. Who knows? We don't know yet. But let's just say we made a Midnight mod and I put that on the workshop and I get rewarded for it in some kind of monetary value. Then I'd want to be like, alright, we can take the money we're getting off of that mod and invest it back into the channel for some kind of giveaway. Like, oh, well, you guys told me to make this mod, and because it did well, I'm now going to give away like 5 copies of Afterbirth. I'll do like a 5 copies of Afterbirth Plus as a giveaway, but I don't know yet, because we don't know if it's going to be a point-based system or a monetary system. That's the thing that they're still working out with Valve and Steam as a whole, because obviously paid-for mods on Steam got taken down, so we don't know if they're going to reinitiate it for Afterbirth Plus or if it's going to be a point-based system. But if it is a monetary-based system, I want us to make something together, and whatever we as this channel, like you and me, make together, if it does well, I want to give back to you guys and maybe do some giveaways depending on how it works. So yeah, it's looking pretty much fantastic. You know, all of the things that were explained, very great, very good, nice and easy to use for the most part, he said. All of the actual tools that we did see look very user-friendly and fantastic. The reward-based system, very interesting idea. Can't wait to see how that shakes out. And of course, more pressure being put on Nintendo now that Tyrone and Ed want to reward modders rather than cease and desist them. So we'll see if Nintendo makes a rebuttal to that, because they're getting put under a bit of pressure. And we'll go from there. But yeah, this was just a brief let's look at. Again, it was literally just a video stream. I haven't played the game yet, but when the game does come out, I'm going to be playing it. We're going to be doing a full-on review of it. So yeah, good stuff, great stuff there. So for now, thank you all for watching this episode of Let's Look At. I don't know why I was calling it an episode, but thank you all for watching this video. If you indeed enjoyed the video and you are very excited for Afterbirth Plus, do feel free to leave a like. It really does help the channel out. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. What are you most excited for in Afterbirth Plus? Like, is there any mods that you particularly want to see? Is there any mods you particularly want to make yourselves if you are into the modding scene? So yeah, don't forget to leave a comment below. And of course, if you don't want to miss out on any of my content, do please feel free to hit that subscribe button. And there are always extra links below to my Patreon and Twitter if you want to go that extra mile. But for now, thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.